This is Fob and Friends, not your Unkills podcast. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode, everyone. My name is Zan. Don't ask why, just put an I. And with me this week is Amina.
Hello.
And Samra.
Hey.
How's it going, guys? How's life?
Good. I had a productive day. I made chicken noodle soup from scratch. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup with a baseball bat. What song is that? Isn't that how it goes? Like chicken
No,
noodle
it's
soup.
peanut
Chicken
butter
noodle
jelly.
soup.
It's peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly in a baseball bat.
Right. You're right. Never mind. I'm combining two songs on. Whoops. I had some nice pasta and chicken makhni with
Ew, that's a weird combo.
It's a weird combo, but it was just my mom's.
If you do chicken makhni and then add like plain pasta in the makhni, it's like eating it with spicy tomato sauce.
Like, I mean, look. So what? The
guess.
reason why? No. Like I like Samra, but like the pasta that I was eating was it definitely is gross. The way I mix it all together in one
gross. I don't know
plate.
what
Because like it was my mom's friend who made the food for me. She was like, I was supposed to go to her. Like I went back home this weekend, and then she gave me the food. She gave it to my mom, and then my mom gave it to me. And it was just like this really. Like, she is known for being really good at cooking food, and she gave me the pasta, chicken makhni, and the orange chicken too.
Ew, you ate all of it?
Well, I mean, because like I ate most of it last night, and then this was just a leftover. So I'm like, I'm not going to eat it separately. I might as well just throw it all in one plate.
What kind of pasta was it?
It was a plainish pasta, but it had cheese on it, and like I don't know what sauce it was in. But I just wanted to finish it. I didn't want to let it go to waste.
I would have. Were they like mixed, or did you separate it on the plate?
No, it was separated on the plate.
Okay, fine.
I just ate it all at the same time, but
That is biz.
Mine was way better. I mean, homemade. Scratch.
yeah, well, yeah.
So what'd you eat tonight?
Summer, what did you eat?
I had salad, and I
Simple.
had actually just a teeny tiny bit of baked fish.
Really? You don't like?
That's pretty.
I don't, but I'm trying to get into things that I don't like and will eat them, so that one day my tea kettle won't give me any issues.
I feel you.
I'm trying
Quick.
to be a good influence.
Yeah. I guess I get that. You don't want to be like you don't want to like not eat.
I don't want to be like,
why
you
should
have
I
to eat this, and then the tea kettle will be like, but you don't eat it.
but you don't eat. You're like,
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, then I can't be like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
I have no job. I'm small. That's it.
Yeah.
I saw a movie last night, Dan, that I want to quickly talk to you about.
Well, you have to
Yeah, what?
let's quickly talk about it.
I watched Searching.
What's that about?
Ooh. Now, okay, what did you think of that?
Did you see it?
I did.
It was good.
What's
Right?
searching about? What's searching
Right.
about?
Okay, it's about this guy. It's all a computer interface, okay? It's like all like him on his like PC and like over FaceTime and Facebook, and like showing him and the point of view of the computer screen. And it's this guy whose daughter goes missing. And he has to like figure out what's happening and what's going on, and like just so many twists that you don't expect. And first of all, the beginning is like a Disney movie, how like sad and heartwarmingly, breakingly sad it is
Yeah.
with the mom.
Yeah.
And then the twist at the end,
Which I did not see coming. Did you see it
I
coming?
did not see. No, when they showed the person who like confessed,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, wait, that person looks familiar. And
Oh.
I was like, is that? But I was like, no. And then it was.
And then you're like, oh my god.
I was so shocked. And
Yeah.
then I was extra shocked by the end because I didn't think that they would, like that she was. I thought she was gone.
For the most of the movie, I thought that she legitimately was in this like weird conspiracy, that she was doing things behind her father's back, and that's why she was missing. But yeah, it was weird to like then be like, oh, and when they showed the first suspect, and you're like, oh, this is what they're trying to like, they like the movie was trying to make you think that this was the person, and this is not spoiling anything, but they made you think that this is the person. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I was like, that can't be it though, and I'm like, and
With the brother, I was shocked. I was like, oh, it can't. Is this what's happening? And then it wasn't, and I was like, "Oh my god, thank God!" Because that would have been too much for me.
But, yeah. I'm sure we're trying to skirt around the spoilers because it is such a good movie.
Summer, it's like it's anxiety, and then it ends, and you're not disappointed. You're not like what the f. You end, and you're like, that was good.
And I just love the attention to detail, and I think Summer, you would also appreciate that too, because like I said, like Amna said, the entire movie takes place on this guy's computer screen, the entire movie. So everything you see is him FaceTiming people. He's like chatting with people on iMessage. He's like, he's using Excel to like write down his notes, and you're like, it's so detailed. Everything, they clearly put a lot of thought and effort to make it seem like this would be something that someone would do on a computer screen when you're a father of a missing child. It doesn't feel like it was tacked on. It didn't feel like it was fake or like unnatural. Like, why would you have the FaceTime camera open to conveniently show his face? There was a reason why he had the FaceTime camera open. There was a reason why he had that window open on his screen. So like the attention to detail was amazing. I loved it. I saw it.
I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, that for sure. I was like, oh, we'll see. It just kind of sounds interesting. And then I saw a lot of people on Twitter being like, oh, this is really good. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. Watched it. I was like, crap, that's a good movie. Like, that was an enjoyable film.
Yeah.
And it
very, very good.
It wasn't like dark in the sense that like, it wasn't like trafficking or dark web shit where you feel like dirty at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're anxious, you want to know what happened, and then like the twist, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. And going back, like I just like the details. I like the fact that like everything that he did on his computer made total sense. It made sense that he would do that or he would do this, and you're like, all right, I like it a lot. There's a couple of points where you're just like, oh, okay, but I mean, those were quickly overlooked because the movie as a whole was pretty awesome. So yeah, Summer, you should watch it. Do it.
Okay, so I'll have to watch the other one.
You don't want to watch BlacKkKlansman because they will give you anxiety. And I can understand that because it's like an ongoing problem. But this is an actual fictional movie. It's not based off a true story. It's not like, it's like kind of like closed system in the sense that it's just like this one story and then it ends fine. Spoiler.
Okay.
Like, I know you like the spoiler. So spoiler, you're like you're not going to like walk out and be upset.
No, you're going to be satisfied.
Yeah, you won't be sad walking out.
Okay, I'll do it.
Anyway, guys, what do you call it? This is going to be part 2 of our second parter of an episode here. We got to finish up our glorious movie that we like to call Aina. It's
Aina Hetera.
We left off at a cliffhanger that Rima, Amrita Singh, she's back, and no, is it Roma? Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Roma.
Or was it Rima?
Roma.
Wait, is it Roma or Rima? Now I'm confused. Hold on.
No, it's Roma. Rima is Juhi.
I'm pretty sure Rima is Juhi, but
no, Rima was Amrita.
Really?
What?
I don't like the name Roma.
Ew, I don't like Roma.
Where's?
Sorry to anyone named Roma.
Yeah, seriously.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. I wrote here. Roma gets modeling off. Okay. Yeah. No. Sorry. Yeah. Roma was Amrita Singh.
Roma
Julie was
seems
Rima.
like
Sorry.
a villain name, you know?
I'm getting my own notes confused. Sorry. Yeah. No. We were right the first time. I just wrote it wrong here.
Get it right, my
Yeah. So you want to get started? You want to do this?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
finish
finish
this up.
this
Sarah,
up.
you got to do your intro to our segment.
We are about to do, ladies and gentlemen, part 2, first time ever, of the Bollywood. Oh wait, I have to do it closer. The Bollywood breakdown.
I love it.
So pathetic.
I love it.
It's like what?
Nothing.
Oh, say it.
I said it's so pathetic sounding.
You're pathetic.
It's like you're like dying. It's like
You're pathetic. Okay, let's go forward.
So we left off. I'm assuming the listeners have listened to the last episode. I'm hoping they did, because it will not make any sense where we're starting to pick up. But essentially, to kind of give you,
people will listen to the episode, and to all the friends out there listening, when you like to create drama for no reason,
Summer just shouted out someone who listened to this podcast. You're in our burn book, bruh.
Anyway, so we so basically we left off with Rima, Juhi Chawla, her character, and Jackie Sheriff, his character's name Ravi Saxena.
Saxena.
We left off with her. She was on the ladder and she fell into his arms conveniently, and then I also mentioned that he had a pretty short towel on, blah blah blah.
Yep.
And then how they had dinner, and then Rima goes, you know how you said that I wanted, like, when I wanted to become more than friends with you, to extend my hand to you. Well,
when I wanted the Saxena.
When I wanted the Saxena, I was gonna hit you up. She did. They hit him up, and now song happened. We already went to the song Godia. Then when they were coming back, they were coming back to home, and then Roma was sitting right there. Thunder and lightning, boom, 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 you know.
What kind of thunder sounds like boom? Never.
And then
outside that goes boom.
Just a low hum in the background.
Bum.
Shut all your faces and keep going.
Yeah, so basically she goes, she's back. She finds out that obviously they got married behind her while she was off doing her movie shoot. And then she goes, I won't allow you guys to live happily ever after. And that's where we pick up now. So so that night the next morning maybe not the next morning. I would say that later that night, like it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm assuming, like really late at night, we find out that she's in the hospital, Roma, because she overdoses on sleeping pills, and she gets so this was like right after she goes, I won't allow you guys to live happily ever after. She overdoses on sleeping pills, quote unquote. And all I wrote here was, why so dramatic, Roma? Like, why do that?
Why, I don't know, like overdose and like try and kill yourself.
Yeah.
When it's obviously like, it's just to get, it's honestly to break up your sister's marriage. That's why you did it.
Which is so messed up too. Like, I'm going to break up my sister's wedding by overdosing on sleeping pills. Like, that makes...
Listen,
I don't know.
Shout out to...
Oh, God.
That was wrong on so many levels.
Oh, God. I'm going to have to debate whether to cut that out or
not.
No,
we keep that in. We keep that in.
Listen, by the way, guys, if anybody really we're not making fun of people doing that who have serious, never joke about things like that, people. Never, ever.
Yeah, let's make it clear. We're not joking about the fact that people overdose.
Or that there's mental health problems, or people,
No.
I that's not it.
Yeah, this episode's already hot. We are walking on hot eggshells right now. Anyway, I don't even know how to transition from that, but what?
Anyway, Roma does it for attention.
Yes.
Because and I wrote here why so dramatic, Roma, and then I just wrote also in parentheses lies, because we find out that it's not really the case. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So because of the whole episode that she had with the sleeping pills, she Rima, being the nice sister that she is, even though all this crap that she's done to her in the past, she still feels bad for her own sister. She's like, well, she talks to Ravi, Jackie Shroff, being like, hey, since my dad gave her a hard no at living at their house, can we let her live at my house, like our house? And then Ravi being like, oh, no. And then, but she goes, listen, she's my sister, we have to. And she's like, okay, whatever. He eventually caves in and is like, all right, go for it. It's your sister. I'll do it for you and not for her.
She's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I know what they're trying to do here. Like, oh, look how even when she's been treated badly, she still loves wholesomely and innocently and with love. Well, that's redundant, but you know what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, you know what? Why can't they just show her stand up for herself and be like, no, this bitch crazy.
Yeah, she crazy.
She's trying to sabotage my life. She literally, in my home, promised to make my happy marriage end. I don't know. Yeah. She's an idiot. She kind of deserves what she got.
Yeah, especially what's going to come up next. Like, she kind of deserves all this. So the next morning happens. They're all having nashta. They're all having breakfast. And then the whole scene happens again with the whole two sugars, right? So as a way for her to kind of impress, her being Roma, Roma was like, oh, to impress Jackie Shroff, Ravi, she goes, oh, I remember that you like two sugars in your chai. And then Jackie was like, Ravi was like, nah, not anymore. I only like one. And she's like, wait, what do you mean by that? Yeah, your sister Rima kind of talked me down from having two sugars, and now I only take one. So that was kind of like a slap to her face, being like, oh, like...
you don't know me that well, bish.
You don't know me. You don't know me. So that happened. That was a little quick scene. The very next scene, she comes down wearing a blue dress. And she goes, well, you like this blue dress since it's your favorite color, right? And then Jackie Shroff, I keep saying Jackie, Ravi
That's
goes,
his real name.
nah, it's actually... yeah. Ravi goes, nah, it's actually better on my wife Rima instead. Like, the blue looks better on her. You actually like red. Like, red looks better on you anyway. And that's your favorite color. Kind of like a throwback to what she did before. So that happened. That was a little quick scene too. Then I guess it was maybe that later that night, whatever. The next scene kind of happens, and she goes, she's in her office, and Roma was in Ravi's office, and she's like, they have this huge scene where she's talking about how, you used to love me first, and like we were dating first, and like you were gonna marry me, and it was because of. Like, you only married my sister because you didn't like me going off to go do this movie, and blah, blah, blah. And they had this huge argument, this huge battle. And Jackie, I said Jackie again, Ravi was adamant. He's like, no, listen, like, I'm over you now. I have no love for you. What you did in the past was hate. Like, I hated that, like, you're basically dead to me. Like, I'm not going to ever come back to you. And then, in a very overly dramatic fashion, she proceeds to then grab the letter opener that he had on his desk and cuts herself. And it was like it was really jarring to see that too, because it kind of cuts to his Ravi's face, being like, "What are you doing?" And then you just see her in the very next cut, like, just blood all over her dress. It was really like horror, like horrific, like blood all over her dress, blood all over her arms, and she's like, I'm doing this because I love you, and blah blah blah.
Very Fatal Attraction, like creepy.
Yeah, very weird. So like then, because she's about to like faint from blood loss, essentially, he like then brings her to the hospital. Like, Jackie, being the only one there, was like, all right, I guess I have to bring you to the hospital. Like, holy crap, like, what are you doing? Brings her to the hospital, and then like the whole like, then you kind of see this like change in Ravi's character a tiny bit, where you think that he is starting to like her in a way, like maybe not like her, but like more like being like, I feel bad for you, so I'm gonna be nice to you type of way, you know?
Right.
And this kind of cuts to, we should have probably had this saved up. This cuts to the next song here. Ye raat kush naseeb hai.
ये रात खुश नसीब है
खुश
कि
नसीब।
अपने चांद को गले से लगाए
सो रही है.
It's a good song.
Pretty good song, yeah. Song happens, and like, and the entire song is like basically both Roma and Ravi kind of doing their thing, because it's
But they're
like
not doing anything
the
together.
movie-
They're just
no, nothing, nothing has been implied yet. Everything has just kind of been like, oh, he might be softening up back to her now at this point,
Because she tried to literally cut her arms apart in front of
Yeah.
him. Like, what
Yeah. And in my notes right after the song happens, in my notes I wrote, is Ravi seriously reconsidering this? I wrote double WTF, because earlier in my notes I wrote WTF, but yeah, I'm like, WTF, and then I wrote also Jewy's Forever Bay.
My whole thing is like, if someone did that, not only would I be less attracted to them, I would be like, this person needs serious help, and they need to be like in therapy, and like this is bad.
Like, yeah, like, I guess it makes sense that he would bring her to the hospital because he was there and blah, blah, blah. But, like, how are you then now softening up to her and being like, oh, like, the whole song happened, Ye Raat Kush Naseeb Hai. Like, you do all this and you're like, why though? Like, what are you doing? Like, don't you have a sense of mind where you're like, you know, did you not see that she did all this crap beforehand? Like, I don't know. And like, she's in, like, the next morning is like, next morning she's in bed, like, with the bandages all over her arm, and then Ravi and Rima were at the breakfast table having breakfast, and then she doesn't come down. Roma doesn't come down because obviously she's, you know, recovering, and then Jackie then pours out a glass of milk and be like, I'm gonna go serve this to her. And then Rima, suddenly her world's starting to crash down around her. She's like, holy crap, like, he really is going back for my sister, because he's serving her milk upstairs. He's walking upstairs, leaving the dinner table, blah, blah, blah. So you can see her face in the scene, like, she's just crushed. She's like, holy crap, this is not, you know. And I wrote here, it goes, Roma doesn't tell Rima about him coming early from his trip. So, yeah. So basically, Rima goes to work, I guess. I don't remember exactly. It's been a couple weeks since I saw the movie, or a week. So I believe she went to work, and not to work. She went to go to the market, the bazaar, to buy some, you know, stuff. And then Roma gets this phone call that was supposed to be addressed to Rima from Ravi, being like, hey, I'm gonna be coming home early after my business trip, like, blah, 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 let Rima know. She does not tell Rima. She tells Rima instead that, yeah, he's not coming for a few hours, you can go to the market, do your shopping, and blah, blah, blah. So this is her chance, obviously, to take advantage of the situation. So Roma conveniently takes a shower, conveniently, and in Ravi's room, of all places, conveniently. So when she walks out, like, when Jackie Sheriff is getting, you know, undressed to his, you know, whatever, his house clothes, she goes, oh my god, I was taking a shower, I'm so sorry, like, I'm taking a shower, so it's kind of awkward, and it's like, and like, it was just weird. And in my notes I wrote, Jackie, what is wrong with you? Like, Jewy is Bae,
Yeah.
not Roma. Like, he's in this weird, like, and I don't remember exactly the scene, but it's like, I just remember her, like, trying to, like, still manipulating him in this.
She's trying to seduce him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you don't know if he's falling for it or not at this point. Like,
you don't know. No, not at all.
Then it gets frustrating and weird. You're like, are you really into this? Like, she's cray.
She's cray, yeah. And then and then obviously Rima comes back home, and she finds out this whole seduction thing is happening. And then in my notes I wrote, Jewy ain't taking this shit no mo. I'll show you who's boss, basically. And that was the face that she had. She's like, all right, well, if you're playing this game, two can play this,
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to piece together the thing here. And I wrote here, Jackie Sheriff has to, for some reason, choose between having dinner with Rima or a birthday party for Roma. And I don't remember how this transitioned to this thing, and you can fill in the blanks if you can. But I guess it's like Roma had a birthday party planned out for herself, but then Jui was like, hey, Rima was like, hey, we had plans for dinner, like we should go out for dinner this day. So like, and then basically gives him the ultimatum being like, well, you can choose between me, your wife, to have dinner with me, just you and me, or have this huge birthday party that Rome was going to throw together at our house. Like, and then in all caps, I write, why are you even thinking about the answer? Like, it should be pretty obvious that you should go with your...
She should have not given any ultimatum. She should have said, that's not happening. You're not having
it's
a
not
party
happening,
in my house. Get out.
No, but what Ravi does do, that he does go with his wife, he does go with Rima, being like, all right, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna actually do this dinner with you instead. And then as they're getting, they get ready, I guess they're coming downstairs or they're coming back. I don't remember.
They're coming back
from
dinner.
Me. They're coming back from dinner, right? They're coming back from dinner, and then they see this huge surprise birthday party that was thrown. And obviously it throws Ravi off even more. And it's like, oh, like she actually did with this party and he's actually having fun and blah, blah, blah. And then cut to the song, the last song in this movie. Aina He Mera
Chehra. Oh, Aina He
चेहरा
अपनी
अपनी तस्वीर तू देख ले
अपनी तस्वीर तू देख ले.
My mom walked in.
What? What?
My mom walked in right at that moment to me singing into the mic, and she looked at me like I was a disappointment.
At least you don't talk dirty on the podcast.
Yeah, I gotta be careful how we go forward here.
That was funny.
Oh god. So I should also point out the fact that this last song that we just sang, Aina He Mera Chehra, it was Roma that's singing this song.
Roma,
so
actually,
it's
it's all
Roma essentially singing it.
All three.
It is all three, but like it's her song. It's her song singing it
Yes.
to Ravi, being like, hey, like I, blah blah blah, trying to do the whole seduction thing, whatever, So that all happens. The song happens. And I believe.
Take a look at your reflection in my eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to piece this together. The movie. I believe what happens next is that they were in a car. They're going somewhere. It's Roma and Jackie Sheriff. I keep saying Jackie. It's Ravi. Ravi and Roma. They're both in a car. And at one point, Ravi just goes kind of like lunatic for a second.
Yeah.
And he goes like crazy for some reason. Like he starts like really speeding, and like he's speeding down the highway, he's speeding around these corners, and like it's kind of scaring Roma. And like Roma's like, "Yo, can you calm down?" Blah blah blah. Like this is not good. Like, can you calm down? And it escalates like fast, where he goes from going fast to uber fast to like extremely fast.
And they're like
And it's
going over
he's
like cliffs, right? Like they're like mountainside. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they're driving around the mountain, so it's like it's very dangerous. There's like no guard railings, or like he's driving around these corners like a lunatic. And he then gets to that room that I mentioned in last episode, like the room that he made for Roma, which is like this huge, elaborate black and red room with her painting in there. They get to that room.
It's on the top of
Shows
a
her.
mountain.
I believe so. I
Maybe it
believe
was a
it was on
different
the top of
house.
the mountain, or maybe I don't. Maybe it's a different house. I don't know.
about that either.
But I guess like he gets to that point where he's at that house that he built, or that room that he built for Roma. And he goes, and this is where the revelation comes in, and this is where the climax happens, where Ravi is like, yo, this entire time that I've been like pretending to be friends with you and pretending to do all this, like being nice to you and serving you milk and, you know, going along with the dinner party, the birthday party, blah, blah, blah. I knew all along I was doing this just so I can see how far you would take yourself, to like how far you would go with this, you know, and to prove a point, essentially. And he goes berserk. He starts breaking the mirrors, you know, obviously with the Aina. Like, he breaks all the mirrors in this room and being like, you call yourself beautiful? And this is what he kept saying over and over again in that scene. He's like, you call yourself beautiful? Breaks a window or breaks a mirror. You call yourself beautiful? Breaks another mirror. And he just kept doing that over and over again to really drive home this point.
Remember, it's like the beginning of the movie. You are so beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Roma, you're so beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you call yourself beautiful and then breaks a mirror, right?
Wait, does he say in Urdu or in English? Or Hindi, whatever. Is he like,
I think...
I don't remember. Or did he say like that? Or is he like, you think you're beautiful? I think he says it. I think he says it in Hindi.
I think he does. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, like either way, he says that, right? Proves their point, and he like storms out the room and kind of like, you know,
leaves her shaken.
Leaves her shaken. Now this is where I like I said, I can't, if you can fill in the blank, where does Rima come into the place here? Like, Rima was there?
No,
I don't think she was there, right? I think what happens is, like, I think Roma grabs a huge shard of glass, and then I guess she probably brought that shard of glass with her to Rima's house and like confronts Rima.
Yeah.
And then now the movie is implying that she's about to kill her own sister. And then she's like has a psychotic look in her face. She's like, yeah, I'm about to stab you with this shard of glass. You better believe it, you know, type of thing. And like they have this huge, you know, conversation, this intervention being like, you know, like, I'm doing this, but like, you know, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. He loves me, and about this huge argument. And then at one point, at the end of the conversation, Roma throws a mirror, throws a shard of glass on the floor, and is like, I'm sorry. Like, she's like, basically, I'm sorry. I apologize for everything that happened, and blah, blah, blah.
That's a bit anticlimactic. Like, is that really what happened?
I believe that's what happened, yeah, because my last notes was Roma's about to kill Rima. Oh, wait, never mind. And they forgive? Of what? That's all I wrote.
So maybe it does happen
what? I mean, I may have described it very abruptly. I mean, obviously it's done better in the movie, but basically that's what she does. Like, she's psychotic, throws the shard of glass on the floor, being like, never mind, I'm actually, like, please, forgive me. And they hug it out, and like, and then it cuts to, I guess it's the wedding again. Like, it's like, I guess they're redoing the wedding, like, the right way, like the proper way. And not this whole, like, I'm just going to get married at the last second type thing. Like, I guess they want to do a proper wedding. And you can see her, obviously, now. And, like, it's kind of, I like the dichotomy in here. Like, now, in the very last scene of the movie, you can see Roma, where in the beginning of the movie, she's very dolled up, very dressed up to the nine. And this last scene of the movie, she's the opposite. She's actually what Rima looked like in the beginning of the movie, where she was more plain. She had no makeup on. She has her hair in a bun. Her clothes are really overly large. That's not, you know, like, clearly doesn't fit her. And she's doing this so she can show, like, basically kind of show that she's now humble.
She's grown.
She's like, she's learned her mistakes. She's actually giving her sister's hand to Ravi, being like, yeah, you can now marry my sister, and that what I've done was wrong. And the end. And that's how the movie ends.
So I'm like on the blog to see like exactly what's on, and there's a screenshot of him in the small towel. Why wouldn't they just buy bigger towels?
Right? It looks like a hand towel. It literally
looks like the wrong way. His Saxanas will pop out.
Oh god! It's gonna be lame laughing at my own joke. But when I was editing last week's episode, I did say that there was a lot of shadowing.
Ew, at the end.
They do. And, you know, that kiss, though, by the way, can we talk about that kiss? That kiss is probably the most lamest kiss you can ever see.
Who kissed at the end?
but not even that.
Julian and
Not
Jackie
even
Shroff kissing it. There's a screenshot.
Yeah.
OMG.
But like in that screenshot, Omni, don't you see that like they're barely touching, like their lips are touching, but not really, and like it looks so lame and like
what?
half-assed.
That's the type of-
They just look like their mouths are like slightly open and like pressed against each other, and that's it.
Yeah. But this is, mind you, though, Peter, for the listeners out there, this is during a time. I mean, now Bollywood has completely changed. Now Bollywood doesn't really.
Now they do
care.
all the sex
But at the they do now. They do all sex scandal type stuff here nowadays. But back in the
This is
day,
1990.
this was taboo. 1983. This is very taboo back in the day.
Only
This
movie
wasn't
that
like
real
You know
kid-
what?
This is
That's
not
what I
even.
miss.
This was a.
That's what I miss. Yeah.
the taboo. Yeah, no, it was like it just wasn't like
No one talks about
you never.
So it's not like famous like in this of like when Raja Hindustani came out and that kiss by the tree happens, that was like it rocked the whole industry. Everyone's like, oh my god, what was that? And this, no one even talks about Aina
No one talks about it. No,
because it was
but
mm,
yeah, but it's just basically because like it just wasn't a thing to show on Bollywood cinema at that time. Like I think it happened up until like the mid 2000s, where then they officially then started
Imran
transitioning
Hashmi
over to.
where he was getting gross.
Yeah, I guess he was a pioneer of getting getting Saxena on the
Ew, I don't
Bollywood.
like that. Getting Saxena on, getting Saxena'd. Ew.
Disgusting.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot of time, but that's basically the end of the movie. That's pretty much it. I overall though, I thought the movie was pretty good. When you told me to watch this movie, I legit thought this movie was gonna be pretty dumb.
Why?
I was like,
Why did you?
because the way IMDb writes like the summary and like the way, not Wikipedia but IMDb, and what other website did I see? It was like some other website that they gave a summary of it. It just sounded so stupid, and I'm like, oh my god, this is not going to be good at
We
all.
wouldn't recommend a movie that wasn't good, though, Zan. You gotta also realize that.
No, that's true. No, I mean, I knew it was gonna be like. I mean, I shouldn't say it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be bad. Like, I just thought it was gonna be dumb. Like, it was just gonna be not worth it at all. But yeah, no. Then it turned out to be actually pretty cool.
It's like
I was
good
all
to
right,
like watch as like a fun flick, you know, like a Sunday movie where you just like let's watch Aina.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What?
A Sunday movie? I don't think that would be. Would it be a
No,
Sunday
it would
movie?
not.
Why not?
Actually,
You don't want to see
Sunday
the
movie?
tiny towel on a
No.
Sunday? Oh, okay. Well,
Yikes.
look, is it yes, boss? No. Is it BB number 1? No. Is it Kuch Kuch Hota Hai? Not even close. But is it like old school Bollywood?
cheesy.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about the movie. If anything, that's what I got out of it. That it is so old school that I felt nostalgic the entire time watching it. I felt so like warm inside. I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I used to watch. You know.
Yeah.
Like and you guys know that I haven't been really watching. I don't watch any new school Bollywood at all. Like my Bollywood knowledge ends at Om Shanti Om. That's literally when it ends.
Yeah, 2006.
After that, 2006. After that, after that I did. Don't get me wrong, I did watch other Bollywood movies after that. But like basically, my love of Bollywood died at Om Shanti Om. Like it was right there. And like before that, every time I saw the movie, it always brought me like a warm fuzzy feeling. I'm like, oh, this is Bollywood. I'm like, this is so good. I like this. This is what I like to watch. You know?
I love it.
Yeah, that's like it's like, also it's kind of nice because it's not the typical Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan. It's Jackie Shroff. You know, it's a different hero of a different era.
Yeah. Like what is he? I mean, he's
Well,
not
no,
doing
he's
much
older.
anymore, right?
I actually
He's
think
older.
he's better
His
looking
son-
now. Anyone agree?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of
I think he's.
the old Bollywood actors that like, I mean, he wasn't bad looking when he was young. He wasn't like a Sunil Shetty, but I feel like a lot of them are growing better with age.
I agree.
Like Jackie Shroff looks good. Sunil Shetty, it's like 360. What the heck happened? And then in a good way, who else? Ajay Devgan. He's not good looking,
Yeah.
but he's better.
He looks better.
You know who hasn't aged well though at all?
Who?
Who?
Sunny Deol.
Ooh.
Sunny
We know who
Deol.
has aged better than Sunny Deol?
That's
Bobby
Amna's
Deol.
favorite. Shout out to Bobby.
Yo, we should probably watch a Bobby Deol
my
movie
God.
next
You
time.
know-
Are we watching it? Hamraz or whatever?
Bichu.
Some-
Hamraz.
Hamraz. Shit. The most ridiculous movie, but honestly, it has a pretty good it's a good thriller
Yeah.
in the sense it's not what you
Bobby Deol was a
expect.
thriller, man. Like, think about also
Ajnabi. That was a good one. That one is what's the song in that?
Mehbooba, mehbooba, mehbooba. Mehbooba, mehbooba, mehbooba.
He's like, ole, ole, ole.
Yeah. Tu sirf meri mehboob mein teri mehbooba.
Basu's first film, and she's dubbed.
I wouldn't say it's her first film.
Yeah.
No, it's her first film.
How do you know that?
I knew that. I'm a big Bobby Deol fan.
Yeah, you are. That's true.
Yeah. And I if you look up, I mean, well, you guys know that Jackie Sharaf's
guess-
son is now the biggest star right now,
He's not-
right? Isn't he?
He's big in B-list Hollywood.
Really?
Don't say
Okay.
that
I didn't know.
to-
I don't know if it was
Shout out
B-list
to
or
Faria
A-list.
who loves Bobby Deol. I mean, I'm sorry, the Tiger.
Tiger Shroff.
He looks
What a-
better with a beard.
He also is chiseled like a freaking Greek god. This guy is ripped to no other.
It's funny because so I'm not saying he's ugly or looking, but I'm saying his father, Jackie Shroff, is very masculine looking, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he is feminine looking.
His son.
His face is very feminine featured, very cut and chiseled. And it has a weaker chin. I don't know. I just feel like they don't look anything alike.
No, they don't look like they're related at all.
I would not look at Tiger Shroff. First of all, what a name. And I would not look at Tiger Shroff and think, oh, this is Jackie Shroff's son.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, guys, is there anything else that we should talk about before we end this? I want to mention too that Aina has a 6 out of 10 rating on IMDb, which is pretty high for what I would
5 out of 5 out of Times of India.
Oh, look at that.
So, I mean,
yeah. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we?
do you want to talk about
call
for
it
a
a
quick
night?
sec the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B
Go ahead,
fight
Amma. You take it over.
that they got into a fight at New York Fashion Week and Cardi B threw a shoe at Nicki's face? You know that?
Whoa! How come I didn't read that? How come I didn't hear that?
Yeah. Nicki, so Cardi B lunged at Nicki, but Nicki's security basically protected her, and Nicki wasn't even really in the fight at all. And Cardi was just lunging at the security to get to Nicki. She's like, "Come at me, bitch! Come at me, bitch!" And Nicki's like, "I'm standing here." And she's like, "You don't talk about my child. You don't talk about me as a mother." Blah blah blah. All because Nicki liked a tweet that was Cardi should not be supporting a pedophile as a mother. And Nicki and he went cray cray, and so now half the world is on Cardi's side and half the world's on Nicki's side. Look, Nicki Minaj is petty. That's just Nicki's way. I still like Nicki Minaj. Why would you engage? She's kind of a troll.
Sorry, Ami, we're cutting out a bit.
No, I'm just saying, don't engage with Nicki Minaj. She's just a troll.
Yeah, I mean, well, speaking of trolls, I don't want to cut. I mean, if you had anything else to
Oh,
talk
okay.
about.
No
about
comments
Nicki.
here. No one has any comments.
I mean, I didn't even know it was happening, so I can't really.
There's
comment
video
on
on it.
But,
You should go look at the video.
I probably should do my research before I start recording.
I mean, we didn't know we were going to talk about this, so it's fine.
No, we didn't know. No, I wanted to just mention. Did you guys hear about the whole Serena Williams controversy that's happening?
That she was fined 17,000. First of all, I was that tickle that
You know
that
what?
grinded my gears last time we talked, and then it just compounded.
So I guess we can end it on this, but I want to know: are you on Serena's side, or are you on the side of what everyone else kind of believes, which is that she was at the wrong? She was at a wrong here. She's using the whole Me Too movement to kind of blame the ref for something that he really didn't like. Like, he was just following the rules. From what I'm reading, he was following the rules. He gave her a warning the first time, right?
No, he didn't. He gave her a point penalty.
No. From what I heard, he gave a warning, and I mean, you can correct me, but from what I read, it was he gave a warning the first time. Then she started talking about how he's lying. He's like, you're a liar, blah blah blah. This is not the truth. And then that's when she breaks her racket, which then becomes the point penalty.
No, he said he gave a point penalty for coaching, saying that her.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry about the yeah.
You're
You're
right.
right.
I've never cheated. I would never cheat. Serena Williams would not cheat. She doesn't need to cheat, okay?
Well, see, that's interesting because the coach did say on TV saying that, yeah, I did coach her during the play.
But she wasn't paying attention to him. She was playing.
But she's claiming that she did not get any coaching at all. But when the coach himself said, yes, I coached her during the match.
But he also said every coach coaches. They're on the sidelines saying stuff, but she's not sitting there and being like, "Oh, what should I do?" She was just playing the game, how she's playing. Also, Billie Jean King herself was like, "Coaching should be allowed because everyone gets coaching."
And I read somewhere
unfairly
too,
being called out and then getting a point penalty for it on top of.
I don't think it's unfair. I mean, okay, well, I don't think it's unfair. So my problem with this, and maybe it's not even a problem, it's just my observation from this is that I think she was a little over dramatic. I saw the entire clip. I think she was acting a little too much. Like, you were going a little too far. Clearly you're instigating more of this argument, and like you were really trying to piss off the ref. And the ref, obviously, I'm not taking the ref's side because the ref was also being petty. And he started calling out penalties for no reason. And, like, he started, he was doing this thing. So they're both at the wrong here. But I do think it's kind of wrong, maybe, that it's like you're trying to blame him for being sexist. I don't think he was being sexist. He was just doing his refereeing job.
Because there's proof of him where men have literally said F you to him and he's not given a point penalty. He's not even supposed to.
Amna, your mic.
Amna, you're breaking up, Amna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave her a game penalty. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
And
he's
never given anyone else, a man who's said way worse to him, a game penalty. That's like, he's given, I think, game penalties. I don't know this umpire's career, but I read a whole list of people who've done worse, and he's not reacted at all near the same way.
Yeah, I mean, no. It's like,
I think he was trying
like I said, I
a
don't
point.
watch.
I think he was being like, "Oh, Serena Williams, you think you're so great? Here's a freaking game penalty." But it was too overzealous, and it was too of a power play on his part, and less on the actual respect of her game and her point.
But don't you also think that, like, Serena was acting a little childish when she was doing all this? She was throwing a tantrum, and she started,
I think in her brain she really wasn't cheating, and so she was like, "Are you kidding me?"
No, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to take anyone's side here. I'm impartial to this because I don't watch tennis. I don't give a crap about tennis. I don't care about what's this. I just know that, like, it was interesting to hear that she was blaming him. And it seems like for the general part, everyone's taking the side of the coach. No. Well, not the coach. Sorry, the
That's
the
not
ref.
what I'm saying.
Being like, I guess it depends on the article, right? But the articles that I've been reading, it's been in the radio show that I listened to this morning. They have all been defending the ref, being like, well, everyone has in an agreement that they're both at the wrong here. The ref was being petty, and that Serena was being childish when she was doing this whole temper tantrum. They're both at the wrong here, but it's just a matter, I guess, of, like, how you interpret it and like how you think like whose side you're on and like how you kind of see the situation occur. I don't know. It's interesting to hear. Like,
The thing is, like, I feel like there are a lot of male tennis players who have had meltdowns way worse than that and have gotten no penalties. And Serena
Yeah.
Williams is consistently targeted in tennis.
but she's also had a history in the past. That's also I read. So she's had a past in like in her another U.S. Open that she was in. She was also doing this whole thing too, and she also got fined for that as well.
But everyone has a past and a history. But she,
Yeah, but I
but I
guess
feel like
I'm just
she's
saying like she
unfairly
might have had it.
targeted because it's Serena Williams. You know what I'm trying to say?
But my issue, I think another issue that I think is that she stole the thunder away from the actual winner, who actually legit won cleanly. Even if you take away this whole, point taken away from her,
game.
she was losing. So Serena was losing.
Serena was losing the game, but she had a game on top of her. So the game penalty, he took away a game win from Serena, and that is what made Serena lose. Because Serena won.
No, I don't. But is that the case really? Because I did not hear. I heard that she was losing no matter what happened. Like no matter what.
She was losing that game, but she had a game over this girl, so she wouldn't have. Taking the game away, the game penalty is what put them on the playing field where she won. And I don't think that the girl didn't play well. She also beat Serena at a different point. I think she's amazing, and I think Serena never made it about the other girl. And if anything, she was like, she told the crowd to stop booing and was like, she played great. It's nothing to do with the girl. I do agree, though. It really overshadowed her win, too.
No one's talking about it. Naomi Osaka, I believe her name is. No one's talking about her at all. Everyone's talking about Serena. She's the center of attention. You barely even hear the fact that she won. All this news started from me hearing about Serena Williams this, Serena Williams that. I did not even hear about that she wins.
The news outlets are one thing, but like on Twitter and stuff, it's less about what the news is saying and more like Serena's point of view and like, oh, the news outlets have been overshadowing. The news is also, they angle things, right?
That's true. Well, because it's like they're obviously going to go for the headlines. Right. They want to get people to check their. So obviously they're going to talk about Serena because she's a world-renowned figure in sports,
and then
rather than some 20-year-old whatever.
And also, I want to point out that maybe you'd have a point to some extent, but then that cartoon came out today, and that was ridiculous.
I didn't see that. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was like a cartoonist for some newspaper drew a picture of the scene and made Serena Williams literally like it was like a minstrel drawing of her, like it looked like a Jim Crow era drawing of a black person.
I see.
Oh.
And like people, it's like people are like
blackface type thing.
Well, she's black, but like.
No, yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like
overly big lips and an overly big nose. And like people are like, what is this?
Yeah, me too.
I gotta see this right now. I'm gonna look it up right now. Serena. Yeah, but that's interesting though. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
Like the media, I feel like the media, yeah, right? It's like biased. they like how they always show the mugshot of the black person. They always show like, oh, Serena Williams had a meltdown. She was crazy. This, that, or blah, 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 blah. And they're never like, yeah, well, she was like, she was pissed or this, I don't know. I just feel like the media overhypes things to an extent too.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I am not qualified to talk about this.
I just Williams too. So I also think that tennis is unduly hard, like unfairly hard on Serena Williams. Like the different federations in I don't think that's what they're called in tennis though, are like tough on Serena Williams always.
Interesting. Yeah, because I'm so unaware of.
Well, you know that they drug test her more than any other athlete in the world.
I didn't know.
And she always comes clean, but they always they will give random drug testings like constantly to her. And yeah. And just like other things that are like, why are they targeting Serena Williams constantly? Because they just can't believe that she could be the best tennis player in the world.
or she could just, or it's possibly because she is the best tennis player in the world.
She is
You
the
know?
best.
It's the same way how they always were scrutinizing, I guess, like Michael Jordan and like scrutinizing any big time sports athlete in any sport, you know, how they always scrutinize them, being like, well, you're the top guy. You can't be this good.
No one scrutinized Lance Armstrong until that whole scandal came out. How did that not happen earlier?
I don't know. Did they not? I don't even know. Actually, I have no idea. I can't even comment. I don't know.
So that's just what I'm saying. Did you see the pictures in?
I did. It is. Yeah, it's a little.
It's a little
little
not
out there.
tasteful at all.
Not at all.
It's pretty bad.
Well-
So I don't know. I think people are now making it even worse.
Yeah. I guess in the end of the day, I just kind of feel bad for the actual winner of the U.S. Open. What was it? I keep forgetting her name. Naomi Osaka,
Yeah.
I believe. I feel like if anything, I feel bad for
He
her.
was crying.
because
She happy that
She was crying. She was getting booed by the crowd because they clearly wanted Serena to win.
Serena comforted her and was like, you played great.
Yeah, but like, I guess so. But like, I just think that like the attention shouldn't have been on Serena at all. The attention should have been at the actual winner. This was her moment to shine, not Serena.
Yeah.
That's probably
this
it,
I agree.
you know?
Yeah, me too, I agree.
Yeah. And I guess on that note,
Follow us at Fob and Friends on Instagram and Twitter, or on Facebook at www.facebook.com/FobandFriends. Email us at fobandfriendspodcast.com and rate and review us. No, I did that wrong. Fob and Friends podcast at gmail.com. Rate and review us. iTunes 4 to 5 stars, and on Spotify and Google Play.
awesome, guys.
Awesome.
Awesome. Sounds
Awesome.
good. Sounds good. Break.
Break.
Sorry?
All right. Bye.
Bye.